Welcome to Lotus Lane Daily. I'm glad you're here. Today's wisdom is for anyone going through something hard. You know that feeling when you reach for something your body used to do without a thought and it isn't there anymore? The leg that doesn't hold weight, the hand that won't grip, the eyes that blur, the ears that have gone quiet, the energy that vanished and never came back. And the doing is only half of it. There's also the strange, hollow shock of catching yourself mid-reach and remembering again that this is real now, that the body or the mind you had your whole life has changed and you did not agree to it and no one asked. If you are sitting with that tonight, somewhere in the early hours, I want to say something plainly. What you are feeling is not weakness, and it is not self-pity. It is grief, and grief is the correct response to losing something you loved. This is a loss, so let it be one. People around you may rush to call your new disability a challenge or a new chapter. They mean well. But before any of that can be true, something has to be honored. You have lost something. Maybe a capability, maybe an independence, maybe a future you had quietly assumed you'd get. The loss is real. And like any real loss, it needs to be grieved before it can be lived with. You do not have to be inspiring right now. You do not have to be brave or graceful or a good example for anyone. You are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to mourn the body or the life you had. People who skip the grieving and go straight to staying positive usually find the grief waiting for them later, often worse for having been ignored. So if tonight you need to be furious or to cry or to simply sit in the unfairness of it, that is not a failure of attitude. That is the honest work of a person adjusting to something enormous. The two different hard things. It helps to notice that adjusting to a disability is really two separate hard things tangled together. There is the practical part, learning new ways to do tasks, new tools, new routines, new appointments. And there is the inner part, figuring out who you are now, when so much of your identity was built around things your body did easily. The practical part is genuinely learnable. It is slow and frustrating and full of small humiliations, but it moves. You will, over weeks and months, build a new set of skills and a new map of your days. People do this all the time, and so will you. Not because you're exceptional, but because humans adapt, even when they swore they couldn't. The inner part is harder, because it asks a frightening question. If I am not the person who could do those things, who am I? And here is where an old idea is worth holding on to. There is a body of philosophical writing centuries old that insists a person's worth was never located in their abilities at all. One line from it says, "The person who is ill is not weak. Often they are among the strongest people alive because they fight battles that others cannot even imagine." The same is true of disability. The version of you that exists now is not a lesser draft of the real you. It is you, still here, fighting a battle most people will never see. Things that genuinely help. There is no neat formula for this, but there are real, practical things that ease the weight, and they are worth knowing. Find the others. The single most useful thing for almost anyone adjusting to a disability is contact with people living the same one. Not for cheerfulness, but for information and recognition. They know the practical hacks no doctor will mention. They know the specific grief you're in. They can tell you, from the other side of it, that the despair you feel at month 2 is not permanent. Online communities, local groups, peer mentoring programs, look for them. Being understood without having to explain is a kind of rest. Let people help and let it be awkward. Accepting help can feel like a small surrender, especially if you valued your independence. But independence was never really doing everything alone. It was about having a life you choose. Help is a tool for that life, the same as a ramp or a hearing aid. The awkwardness fades. Let people show up for you. It's also a gift to them, even if it doesn't feel that way yet. Grieve on purpose, not only by ambush. Set aside time to feel it, rather than only being caught off guard by it. Some people write, some talk to a counselor, some just sit with a photo of their old life and let it hurt for an hour. Grief that gets a deliberate place tends to ambush you less in the grocery store. A therapist who works with disability or chronic illness is not a luxury here. They can hold the part of this that's too heavy to carry alone. Rebuild in small, concrete pieces. Do not try to imagine your whole new life at once. It is too big and the picture is not finished. Instead, ask a smaller question. What is one thing I want to be able to do this month? And what would the first step toward it look like? One reachable thing. There is a line from an old philosophical text worth keeping close on the hard days. One more step, just one more step. That is all you need to focus on when the road seems impossibly long. The road is long, the step is small. The step is the only part you have to deal with today. The slow return of a self. Something happens, usually quietly, somewhere down the line. You stop measuring every day against the life you lost, and you start, almost without noticing, to live the one you have. Not because the loss stopped mattering, but because new things slowly fill the space. New competence, new relationships, sometimes a new and unexpected clarity about what actually matters to you. That same old body of writing makes a claim that can sound hard at first, but settles into something steadying. A person of courage can transform everything, even their suffering, into a source of value creation. This is not a demand that you be grateful for your disability. You don't have to be. It simply means that the life you build from here can hold meaning, connection, and even joy, and that none of those things were canceled by what your body can or cannot do. People who have lived this will tell you, often to their own surprise, that they found a depth and a steadiness on the other side that the old life never gave them. You are nowhere near being asked to believe that yet. Right now, you are in the raw part, and the raw part is supposed to feel like this. You are still here. Whatever your body has lost, the part of you that loves people, that notices beauty, that has opinions and humor and a particular way of seeing the world is intact. That part is reading these words right now. It survived. It is still capable of a full and meaningful life, even if you cannot picture the shape of that life tonight. Be patient with the person you are becoming. They are doing something genuinely hard, and they are doing it without a manual. Some days the only honest goal is to get through to tomorrow, and on those days, getting through is a complete and worthy achievement. You did not choose this, but you are meeting it even now, even by reading this. That counts for more than you can feel right now. Rest tonight. The adjusting can be slow, it is allowed to be slow. That's the wisdom for today. If something here landed for you, share it with one person who might need to hear it too. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow on Lotus Lane Daily.